Can you believe we're already hitting the month of August for 2024? I'm like bamboozled that is even a reality right now, but it's true, we're here. And I have some pretty interesting things to share with you for this past month in real estate. So let's get on into it. The market itself honestly hasn't been too different since last month's real estate update. Buyers are still out there. They're taking longer to make decisions, but they are moving. Our prices haven't really fallen, but days on market is longer, so sellers just have to be more patient. That's just a quick summary of what we talked about last month. Still true going into this month and the end of the summer here. As we approach the winter months, I expect that to continue to be the case. But what's perhaps even more important that I think we need to talk about in this month's update are all of the rule changes happening in the real estate world starting this month. August is a big deal because if you guys remember, earlier in the year, the National Association of Realtors had a lawsuit settlement throughout the entire country. So this is not just like a local rule or a California rule. This is going to be applicable to home buyers and sellers all throughout the United States. And it stems around how agents like me get paid. Unfortunately, I gotta get paid for my time. I offer a service, a very high-end, high-level service for buyers and sellers, and that does cost some money. And I'm not here to try to prove my worth to you or anything like that. I think it goes without saying that you do get a very specific service with me versus other agents. And we can get into that on many other videos across my channel, or call me personally and I'll walk you through exactly what I offer. But across the board, regardless of what agent you choose, you do have to pay them for their time. And historically, commission has always been negotiable. There's never been a standard rate. There's never been laws around those rates. And commonly how it's been set up since well before I've been doing real estate since 2016 is that when a home gets listed on the MLS, that seller and that seller's agent agree to a specific commission to pay that listing agent upon the sale of the home. And in that listing agreement, the seller either says okay or I'm not okay with letting that listing agent split their commission with the agent that brings the buyer. And that's how buyer agents have gotten paid for years. Again, it wasn't a standard, it was just a very common practice, and it worked for a lot of people because the buyers didn't have to pay their buyer's agent. So they're able to free up some cash and spend more money on a house. Now that right there might change. I have been having conversations with sellers. All of the sellers I've been talking to understand the value of letting the listing agent split their commission with the buyer's agent and seem to be okay continuing to do that in the coming future. But I do think we're gonna see some sellers that are gonna say, hey, wait a minute, I don't wanna pay anybody extra, which that's your right to do so, and that's fine. But understand that if you choose to go that route, and that buyer that was potentially going to buy your home will also have to pay their agent directly. And that may take away money from them able to spend on your home. That being said, the outcome of the settlement, I think, is really going to impact buyers mostly because they're the ones that may have a new added cost to home purchasing, which actually makes buying a home a little bit less affordable. If I could do my job for free and pay all my bills, hey, I would, but I do have to get paid too. This is my job. So that being said, what the settlement really means for home buyers specifically is that you as a buyer are now going to have to sign a representation agreement and agree upon a commission before your realtor is allowed to send you homes in the MLS and show you any property in person. This is a huge change, because this was not how things have been done before. What I expect to see from this is less buyers at your open house, less looky-loos coming through the door, which honestly is a good thing, and an overall reduction in buying traffic when you list your home on the market. So I'm very interested how this is going to play out in the future. Do I think it's gonna crash the market? No. Do I think it's going to allow for some better transparency across the board? Yes, and I'm actually really excited for that because there's nothing wrong with more transparency. Sometimes we have to have these hard conversations up front so that we can get you to the best end goal possible. I've never been an agent to tie you into paperwork and locking you in because I've always really built my business around trust in the past. Unfortunately, this is out of my control, so with my new clients, I will need to sign formal paperwork with you before we get the ball started. Even though I do trust you, I can't go based on that trust anymore. We have to have just more paperwork now. But this doesn't mean that sellers are gonna stop letting their listing agents share the commission. So basically what's going to happen is you're gonna sign this agreement and you're gonna say, hey, I'm assuming the seller is not gonna do this for us, and this is what I'm willing to pay my agent. And me and you are gonna have that discussion and talk about the services that you wanna add in, commission, all that fun stuff. But there is still a chance that when we do negotiate an offer, I can get that seller to pay that commission, which will free up some cash on your end. And maybe it's gonna be a win-win to get you the home that you want. It's all ultimately just gonna be a continual conversation, not a one and done, but I do expect these conversations to impact affordability and really do have an indirect relationship with the market as a whole. Now, there are many other factors circling the market right now, from political, economical, all that fun stuff. But I do think that this new settlement is really going to be the biggest short-term impact of the market that we close out of 2024. So let's see what happens as these agreements go into effect, as the laws change for realtors, both on the selling and the buying side, how it impacts the traffic at open houses, and ultimately how it impacts prices at the end of the day. And of course, you're always welcome to give me a call if you want to learn a little bit more about my thoughts about this settlement. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in this month. Let's see where we head next month. Thank you so much for watching.